Hey there, Happy New Year and welcome. My name is Pete and this is the very first channel update video of 2020. I hope all of you had wonderful holidays and a great start to the new year, and with 2019 behind us, let's do something we already did last year. Let's take a look back at the last 12 months for Pete Complete, starting more or less exactly 1 year ago in January 2019. On January 1st, 2019, Pete Complete had 50,845 subscribers. Most of those probably came from the Rimworld series, which was still going strong at that point, alongside the Mass Effect 2 Insanity walkthrough that we're still playing to this day, but which is coming closer and closer to completion. Speaking of which, even though Rimworld was still the main pillar of the channel at the beginning of 2019, it was clear to me that the series had to end at some point. And so we worked steadily towards building a spaceship over the month of February, and then on the 1st of March, right on the channel's 3-year anniversary, we launched a brand new series diving into a game that I had wanted to play on the channel for a long time, XCOM. And because the game is already a few years old and I wanted to bring something new to the table, I set myself the pretty challenging goal of completing the game on impossible difficulty with Iron Man mode turned on, so no saving and reloading all the time, and to go after all single-player achievements at the same time. The first few missions with this setup were pretty intense, but the more our soldiers leveled up, the easier things became, and now we're at a point where we have a fully maxed out 6-person squad that is very fun to play with. I will also begin introducing new soldiers over the next few episodes, so we'll have a few fresh new faces join the ranks to keep things interesting. Now, with XCOM underway, it was only a matter of time before the Rimworld series had to end, and in early April it was time to say goodbye to the ice sheet. I prepared 3 different endings for you, because during the last few episodes of the series I had gotten the feeling that you all had your very own ideas of how our adventures should come to an end, and with 3 options I tried to give you a bit of everything. And after Cambia and Company had left off, things around here got a little quiet, not because the other 2 series were doing poorly, quite on the contrary. XCOM was very well received and quickly took the spot of the channel's main series. No, it was mainly because I had to travel a lot for work. 2019 was the first year in my life in which I had to balance YouTube with having a more or less full-time job, as well as with my other hobbies such as playing basketball or running a D&D campaign. In May, I had to travel to the United States for work and spend a few weeks overseas, so the channel only saw 5 uploads in that month, one of my slowest YouTube months to date. And I will admit, with work getting a bit more intense in the months that followed, I occasionally had a hard time keeping that balance. Still, the channel continued to grow. In late April, we surpassed 60,000 subscribers, and in June, it was time to introduce something new as we launched the official Pete Complete Discord. At this point, I also want to say thank you to Squad Cubed, who helped me set everything up, and to Cheap Milk and CFD for stepping in as moderators. After about 6 months, I can happily report that we have built a nice place to chat and hang out, and even though I'm not around all the time, there is always something going on, and that was exactly my intention, to have a place that's not about me, but for you, the community. Now, for the time being, the Discord is still a patron-only thing, and I intend to keep it that way for now, simply because it has a very cozy feel to it at the moment, with everyone knowing each other, and I'm a little afraid that making it public might affect that sense of familiarity we have going on right now. But then again, just $1 per month over on Patreon would give a person access to it, so it's not like there's a huge entry barrier, and for now I feel like this is the best way to go about it. Now, the story of the second half of the year is pretty quickly told. With work keeping me busy, I was only able to keep 2 series running simultaneously, and those are the very same that we are still playing today, XCOM and Mass Effect. Then, as days got shorter and winter started to roll around, I was starting to feel down from time to time, lacking any sort of drive to make videos or to otherwise be productive in any way, and you may have noticed that as well over the last few weeks. In addition, in December I got sick with a pretty poorly timed cold right before the holidays, and as you may be able to hear, I still haven't fully recovered. So with a somewhat slow finish, we wrapped up 2019 and we're now looking at a brand new year. And of course the question is, what's next for Pete Complete? Well, first of all, we will definitely see the launch of a new series this year. Our Mass Effect playthrough is getting close to the end, and I already have a few candidates lined up to replace it, but more on that in due time. I also want to try and put out videos at a slightly faster pace again, because we're not too far away from reaching 100,000 subscribers, and who knows, maybe that could be a somewhat realistic, albeit ambitious goal for 2020. On the communication side of things, I am currently debating whether or not I should shut down my Facebook page, because I'm personally not really using Facebook anymore and the page is also not really being used. But on the other hand, I do receive messages on Facebook almost every other week, and I feel like I would be shutting down a fairly frequently used communication tool, so maybe you guys can chime in here and let me know how you would handle it. And yeah, that's about it. I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be, also because my voice still isn't all there yet. So let's make the cut right here, and if there's anything I missed, just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Before we go, however, there is one very important thing we have to do, and that is to give a shout out and say thank you to all of the new supporters who joined the Pete Complete Patreon in December. So, as always, in no particular order, I want to thank for their generous support Ignacio de la Torre, Lenlorian95, Damien, Adam Christensen, Christian, Janish Wiki, Axme24, Jake Davis, Jury Saar, Scree, The Returning Pepper Winter, and Nerd Inventor. Thank you all for being awesome and for supporting my passion. And with that, we have officially reached the end of this very first channel update video of 2020. I'm sure that many more like it are still to come, but for today we can wrap things up right here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, then I would be happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and if you want to support me and my channel further, then you can subscribe and help me grow, or also support me over on Patreon and receive a few cool things in return. And that's it for today. Thank you all for watching, I wish you all a great 2020, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.